A long time since I had the cam in my hand. Long time since I had the cam in my hand. What's going on? I got my hands on camera, so I'm just gonna make the best of it. Well, I got some privacy. Still going? Still going. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, it's my room. It's part of my room. Okay. I was. I like making. I used to love making videos when I was angry. I was in the mood. I was fired up. Making videos when it's just kind of like you didn't expect to make a video, and you gotta make a video because you don't know how long your privacy is gonna run out. Sucks. So some things I wrote down. Let's see where I want to start. Because I've been watching videos recently about um, um I don't know. I mean, my regular videos: Joe Talk 100, Prophet Doom, 13th Sun, Scalar Intelligence, a few, a few people. But I think every generation has their mission. I think every generation has their mission. And I think especially for my generation, because think about who has the most money. Even though money shouldn't really be a factor in revolution, think about how much people have money more than people who don't have money. Most likely it's people who are older, 50s, 60s, 70s and up, 40s and up. People who have really a lot of money. So for my generation to just kind of like whip something together and make something, it's just kind of like, to me, I believe in you have to have a venue. Probably you don't, but it helps to have a place where you can all meet and own and use and utilize and switch up and change up and buy this and buy that. That helps. That helps. And not just I live here, you live there. Every I don't. I think every generation has their mission to do. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I wrote down social media makes you antisocial idiots. Uh, I'm mad, not necessarily with social media, but I don't necessarily think we're all ready for. Um, I don't think we're ready for what we're living with. You know what I'm trying to say? Like because I feel like the goals that we have today aren't really goals. They're just kind of like cleanup missions. Oh, we've destroyed the Atlantic Ocean. We've polluted the sea. Let's build windmills now. It's like you should have been started building windmills. What the fuck? Like it shouldn't be the government says so. That's why people do so. So I, that's one reason why I don't like living in cities is because you have to move the consensus in a way. You really can't go against the grain because it will be a one against 5,000 odd. Like the odds will be one against 5,000 or one against 3,000 when you're living in the city. It's not a lot of people who kind of would go against things. You kind of it's kind of like coping mechanisms. You know what I'm trying to say? Like everyone has their coping mechanisms. Everybody knows something's up, whether you're a newbie to this stuff or a veteran. Everybody knows something's up. But hey, get my drink on, get my smoke on, get my party on, get my. You need balance, I believe that, but we can literally change the world today if we want to. Everybody, one shot, change the world. Just change it. A lot of people would die, yes, but you can change it. Um, but social media making people antisocial. Think about this. You see people on their phones in the streets, walking in the streets, texting people on Facebook or whatever. We have never at any point in human history was able to talk to 10, 5 people, 10 people. Okay, you've had banquets. You had a harem. A harem is like a bounty of bitches. A harem is a collection of wives or um mistresses or dancers. That's what a harem is. Harem. I think it's my definition of a harem right now on the fly. And with that, in the banquets, you had probably three kings come or another king come, and it was about 15, a banquet, like a round table of people, a lot, right? But even then, you wouldn't talk to 10 people at once. You would just enjoy yourself. But with the social media now, I can talk to 15 people at once in different countries and different continents, but I can't touch them. I can't hug them. can't feel them. They're not tangible, right? Their thoughts are tangible, so to speak, but they're not tangible. So I don't really, because it's, if you can send somebody a hug online, you don't really have to hug them in real life, do you? So I think social media makes people antisocial idiots. I may be wrong. I just jotted it down. So work with me. Um, what else I wrote? I seen this fucking commercial on TV. I'm not watching TV, but people here watching TV. This thing called PBA. I don't know what it's called. Probably some bullshit ass pill. PBA, right? Bullshit ass pill. So it's about, what I got from it was about laughing and crying. Like if people laugh out of nowhere hysterically, or people are crying and something. And I was like, what? Cry? I was like, people. I feel that, and what enticed me to write that down and talk about it was that those are human emotions, those are human reactions, and laughing. How many times a day? That's why I say when I usually say this to my friends who say, "Yo, get a driver's license" or whatever the case may be. I be looking at people who drive. I know it's like 2 years ago. People who drive don't look happy. Eating commercials, they look happy, obviously, because it's just open road and whatever. But you know, people don't look happy when they drive in cars. You look miserable. You look miserable. So I'm like, I mean, it's what I'm getting at is that's natural. Just sometimes I think about the funniest shit to me. I think about some funny shit, I just start laughing because I'm like, that's hilarious. Because of the timing, if I was to say it around people, if they laugh at it or not, or if um I just find it really funny. It's just funny to me. Like just the combination of thoughts, and it's just hilarious. Crying, I don't know. I don't cry just to cry, but it's these things. Laughing is an outward thing. It helps you inside, but it's an outward to me gesture. And crying is inside gesture. It's you think about things and you see things and you feel things and you let it out through tears. So I mean, those are two things. I mean, just the attack on your natural, whoever you, what we do, just that's honestly that's where we're heading. But it's the next, ugh, it's the next trend. What I think. Let me see. Let me get this correct. Woo! I was mad when I wrote this. Oh, before I even get into the part I want to get into, I asked this question. Why is it that when you go to a church, the pastor slash bishop or reverend or whomever doesn't ask if you are just going to church on Sundays, because often they keep asking you to come back to their church. Kind of odd, huh? As long as one would go to church, problem solved, right? Right? That's one of my thoughts. I've had about 10 or more churches in a 3 block radius, 4 or 5 block radius where I live, and it's just, why wouldn't they just say, "Are you going to church on Sundays? Good. Come back to our church." Why come back to your church? Just go to church. Like, as long as you're spending your Sunday there. Um, this one thing I noticed. Should I say it? It's kind of self-explanatory, so I'll probably say it on another video. Yeah, I'll probably say it on another video. I was mad as fuck when I wrote this shit. I was mad because it's just like, we all bump into this. Just like you have the right to remain silent and you have the right to remain, all these rights. This is a right I think people have and people use a lot. We just go for it. Probably be all over the place. Fix the mustache. You have the right to remain ignorant. Anything and everything you hear about self-improvement and or group improvement and anything else in between can be ignored and disregarded by you in hopes of being stagnant and keeping others around you stagnant as well. For if you do not comply with the set rules above, you would now become one of the person or persons that are setting in motion one of the most biggest awakening and revolutions known to man. Anything you agree with, co-sign, invest in, and upon, shelter, etc., that change the world, you cannot go back to your person slash state of ignorance. And this was another part to it, that anything that you hear that can raise your awareness and consciousness, you will be forever held accountable and responsible for. Whenever the call of change and action is put forth, therefore, forevermore, you can never revert to a state of ignorance, for the guilt of desiring it shall eat you alive. I was mad when I wrote that because it's this thing I see sometimes of people who just say, I've been to the conscious side, I've been to the side of thinking this, doing that, but I don't like it. I want to be ignorant. So then you're like, all right, you're gonna be ignorant, be ignorant over there, but you bring it around you, and everyone has the right to their own opinion, freedom. They're free to go wherever they want, so they're free to be a fucking fart around you. They're free to disrupt your progress, and that's something I think that a lot of people go through for movements, groups, or anything. Like, people have the right to remain ignorant. You know what I'm trying to say? And like I just read, they have the right to remain ignorant and not change and not cope and not bend. And it's frustrating. And sometimes I think to myself, the way the world should change is if it goes into chaos, a deep amount of chaos and anarchy, and it'll change then. Because it's one thing to be on Facebook, on Twitter. It's one thing to volunteer or do whatever. But when you get hit with a brick, when you tear gas in your face, sparks something in your head. It sparks something in your head. But when you're just able to relax and don't worry and keep eating and nothing really that terrible, you know. So I've kind of shifted gears into the waiting mode. Not waiting mode per se, but I'm just shifting gears to the point where it's like, you know what? I need to calm down. I need to chill out because I want to fine tune my tools for what's going to be needed in the future. Because for me to sit down here now and say, help this person, don't help this person, comment, make a video, do all these things, it's weird because who programmed us to help each other? I was talking with someone I know, my mother's friend, and I told him, I was like, hey man, did you know that concrete and roads and shit and it's not a natural surface for us. Now he was like, really? I was like, yeah. Think about this. Think about if you went to a forest or a jungle or whatever, and monkeys that swing off of trees and jump from trees. If you replace those trees, cut them down, and replace them with concrete artificial trees, metal aluminum trees or whatever, the monkey would have a hard time swinging from them because that's not their natural surface. Meaning that, say you're running on dirt, you're running on grass. You ever see like a grassy or weedy place in a city or whatever, and you're walking over it, and you notice over time amount of people who take that path crush down the weeds and grass with their feet, so that becomes a natural path, right? So same thing with dirt, sand, or whatever. The more we stampede with our feet and walk on these places and these paths, it creates a natural road for our feet, naturally. No shoes, no rubber soles, no nothing, just soul to soul. You know what I'm trying to say? Earth soul to human soul connection. You walk over it, and your feet and everyone's feet will make natural paths to the point where you can run and you won't really trip. Because when you think about the concrete and the potholes on sidewalks and streets, you can really bust your ass, man. You can really trip and catch something. But you in grass and you fall, it's dirt, it's grass, it's soft. But if you fall on concrete, it's like, fuck. So that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, I realized that, and I looked through that or upon that because I was thinking about parkour, and I have the book, I'm reading it, I'm exercising once in a while, like I should, but I think about like the damage I had, because you have to, parkour isn't necessarily about avoiding damage or doing really extreme stunts. It's about flowing through the environment, the concrete environment and hard environment we have. That means you have to build your body to be rigid enough to take a hit. It's just like skateboarding. I mean, I don't know, it's just like skateboarding, but you got to take a hit because if I was parkouring in a jungle, it would be a little dangerous because I'd be high up in trees, but I could somehow catch myself. When you parkouring off of buildings and shit and free running off of buildings and light poles, you can really hurt yourself because they have edges. So if you land the wrong way on an edge or corner of something, you can hurt yourself. So I realized that, and I'm still gonna go for it, but it's just silly how we kind of like we try to we left nature to go right back in. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, we left all that good stuff. We killed, chopped down trees, extinct animals, pushed them out the environment, and raccoons and possums and wild dogs running around. It's just not the environment. And now it's like, oh, we gotta go green and windmills and solar panels and we need to go green. We should have. What the fuck are we doing in rock hard concrete cities? Think about the way we live in neighborhoods. This is my block. What's a block? Relate that to a prison. This is a whole giant prison system. This whole grid we live on, it's not natural. It's a prison system. Think about it. I live on a block. Which house is your which number is your house? Which number is your cell? What's your social security number? What's your inmate number? It's simple. Oh shit. Oh man. Yeah, but that's all I got for this video. Those are the topics that I was mad about at the moment. I just had top of the head stuff to go off of, but I forgot that the camera was available to use. I didn't have the privacy at the moment to do it. So 15, 16 minutes. Wow, it's a long video. But I like the way I do these videos with the camera. I'd rather do with the cameras than the webcam. Oh, the webcam is just, webcam sucks. I don't like to sit still. Even though I'm sitting still right now, but I can give you a better view outside type of thing, and you know, up close. So that's what I have. The ignorant, the right to remain ignorant. Every generation has their mission. Just gotta find out what it is. The laughing and crying pill. I was like, how the fuck you gonna give somebody a pill? Oh my god. The social media thing. I really think that makes people antisocial. Because you can run away to your girl can tell you she likes you over the internet. See in person, she doesn't even want to talk to you and go around you. But she's so it makes her more nervous. It gives you more of a reason to be antisocial. But I've read that, you know, being antisocial is actually a good thing. I forgot what the quote said, but like antisocial is better than being social in insane environments. Like it's better to be antisocial because I faced this many times with myself before when I've gone to public places by myself with people and I just don't fit into the vibe, the rhythm of the place. It's not even like, oh well, come on, join in and dance. It's just more of like, what are we accomplishing? That's what I always ask myself wherever I am. What are we accomplishing? And I know I have my own standards, but the Comic-Con thing, what were we accomplishing? We're just wasting. We're just continuing consumerism and proud of it because our childhoodness or whatever the case may be. That's what I think. I really think it needs to be a giant kaboom, giant something happen to change everything because I can't picture us doing the same thing 2050, 2045. What are we doing now? What are we dealing with now? Entertainment, sports, politics is really at the forefront now because you can't ignore it. What's going on? Fashion, kind of. Fucking trivial things, man. Things I'm not interested in. I'm really not interested in them like that. I'm interested in self-sustainability, tiny homes, tree houses. Oh my god, tree house. Fatherhood, you know. Life just doesn't stop at video games and anime and Comic-Con and sports and fucking black people this, black woman that, black man this. I've been left those boxes, you know, but it's a gradual process, my growth, and I'm proud of it. It's not that bad considering what I went through and what I got, so I'm learning to be grateful. It's just I gotta take that step. I gotta fly, you know. It's time to fly, and I think parkour is gonna help me fly. It's gonna help me fly, but I don't know. I've been focused on myself, not out of selfishness, but just kind of like making videos the way I used to make videos for fun, kind of educational for me and others. But I've always asked myself, what more can I do? What more can I do? What more can I do? What can I do? Trying to get the best out of me. You know what I'm trying to say? Just like how you can get the best out of a fruit or vegetable, how can I get the best out of this? So, I feel like the people I've met in my life, though, so far, are what is, not are what, but they are kind of what I could talk to and use and collaborate with to get something going. But it makes me, sometimes I think, I don't really doubt myself, but I just think to myself, if I'm going to use what I've been programmed to use to do good, will it actually not do good? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, what is good? Like, what is helping? What is integral, structural building, community building, nation building? What is that? Don't just say do this, do that. I can't be naive like that. You know what I'm trying to say? That doesn't work for me. I tried it. It does not work for me. It does not work for me. I'd rather have a serious look, serious tone, than be completely playful and then expect. You know what I'm trying? Like, you can't be playful and expect serious gold. You're gonna get playful gold. You're gonna get chocolate gold. You're gonna get gold coins that's chocolate instead of real gold coins. So it's like, I know where to. I'm like I said, I'm fine tuning the tools I need to get where I'm going. So I know I'm not alone. That's something. That's the thing that makes me kind of feel good. Is that I haven't entered forums and blogs about self sustainability yet, but I know I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't give up the chance. I know I wouldn't give up some type of 4 month, 6 month expedition to fucking the Midwest or some shit, or a different continent and learn a different language and shit, and 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 I wouldn't give that up. Fuck no, I wouldn't give. I mean the price. I mean this sometimes the money comes into it, but if there's no money involved, I can just go 6 months to some place and really really take it upon myself to learn stuff. Oh man, mm-mm. How can I put, nah, there's no way to put it. It's just what it is. So, I'm gonna end the video here. Hopefully it has sound. Oh shit, hope it has sound. And hopefully you watch the whole video, if you care that much. But, yeah. So, I don't know if I'm gonna make another video with this camera. I was actually thinking about doing a video series in the basement called In the Basement, because that's where my video started. Most of my videos started when I was doing this little camera thing. It was in the basement. I went to the basement. I had plenty of walking space, and I just let it out. So I may start a series in the basement if I get my hands on another camera. But if not, it's okay. I'm okay with it. But that's it. I'm gonna end it here somehow. I can end it. Should I end it? I'm gonna end it. That's why I don't fuck it up. Peace. Wait, that was fun. I didn't like that. Peace. Ah. I don't know. I know how to end a video. I know I always had these things like, how do you end a video? You show something, you say something funny, play music. Wait, copyright. Yeah. Probably I should do like I used to do. Just show the outside. Show the outside. Snow is what I got. It's not that bad either. Yeah. Perfect way to end the video. Nature.